Oh, wow. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Now, when I say we, I mean we. How's everybody doing? Get some, what do we got? 6 people in. Yeah, I guess after a summer of not doing a live stream, you tend to get a bit of a lag in people coming to watch. Rick on Mike, happy Friday. How's it going, buddy? Welcome back. I like it, UK. I know a lot of people requesting come back. Soften? That's a cool name. Hey, how's it going? Now we and I mean the collective we, me and my co-host, are struggling with audio, and I'm not exactly sure what the audio issue is. So we'll take some feedback here because I've been over the past like 10 minutes, I have been literally going back and forth trying to figure out what's going on, and it's an echo. Pigtown Sports, how's it going, buddy? Sup, brah? Paul Atkinson, how you doing, buddy? This is the Monster Explorers. I've commented a couple times on our new account. Also, thank you. Cheers, man. Yes, I believe I've seen the Monster Explorers in the comments. Okay, so everybody want to know the new co-host, the co-host that will be joining Dark Corner Studios Friday? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I introduce to you... Dylan's back.
What up? What up,
okay, so I need to know, do you guys hear the echo?
Echo. Quick brown foxes jumping over lazy ass dogs. What up?
Paul says chilling
Like a villain.
The irony, audio issues.
Every time.
Okay, I like it says yes, echo. So let's work on this before we get you talking too much so we don't drive everyone away.
I'm good at that part. We don't even need the echo to do that part.
Poseidon.
I'll just drive them all away.
That was great. Hi, Dylan. That
G'day.
was Soften. Big echo. Okay, so I'm going to turn Dylan down just a bit so you guys don't have...
Check.
Do you guys still hear Dylan?
Check. No. All right.
It's so I'm in the Roadcaster video, the bowels of the Roadcaster video.
He's in the machine code. He's in the machine code of the Roadcaster video right now. He's editing the firmware.
And here I thought it was going to be Lofty because she's been all over everything the last couple of weeks. Okay, still hear him.
Sadly, no.
Paul, is there still an echo, Paul? That's what I need to know.
Echo. I did say
Leve. Okay, Leve. I don't know who Leve is.
Yeah, we're not clued in as much as we should be on these things.
Dude, just call it reverb and do a musical live. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I'll just time it, get that BPM going. Yeah, just make sure that we're on point.
It's actually kind of frustrating. So if I turn the mix minus on, Dylan,
mix minus. Copyright.
Yeah.
Mix minus.
Still echo. So I'm wondering, like you're running through the Streamer X.
Yep.
But you don't hear the echo.
No, I hear nothing. I hear you. But
yeah, mix. Paul says mix minus, which there is supposed to be a mix minus setting on. If you dig into the settings, the mixer in the software version of Roadcaster, the Roadcaster app, there is a mix minus in there. It's been so long since I've used the Streamer X, and it's actually still in storage right now because we've been going through some shit in this studio.
No kidding.
And like there's, man, in your echo cancellations on, that's so freaking weird.
Riveting content right here.
Well, it doesn't matter what setting I use for the Roadcaster video, whether multi-track, whether it be chat, whether it be secondary. In fact, when I moved over to secondary, it seemed to be worse. Unify. Yes, Unify. You can use Unify as well. Paul says, are you using Unify today, Dylan?
I am not. I'm using the Roadcaster app. Which I just had to update.
Yeah, so did I. Don't worry, man. It's been a while. I hope Poseidon. I hope Dylan's return doesn't imply bad things about his employment. No,
No,
not whatsoever.
I would not be wearing this.
Although our ability to suss out the audio issue right now is possible. So, are you positive there's nothing on your end in the app that? Yeah,
so you're hearing me twice, or you're hearing you feeding back?
No, I'm hearing you twice.
Okay, all right. Well, there shouldn't be anything that is caught. There's no loops here. I mean, the in and the out are two different interfaces in this case, so they're not even. They don't even see each other.
Could the second interface be reintroducing a signal? Like, is the computer audio coming through as well as your mic audio?
No, because the input, like what the microphone is going into, which is the Streamer X, is not the M-Box, which is what my headphone, like your feed is coming through the M-Box.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
We have it. We're turning a corner, folks.
Wait a second.
Any day now.
Did that work at all?
Check.
No.
Yeah.
It's not double, it's on echo. Yeah, I know. Stop Road virtual channel app. I don't believe I have any so I got a live mix here. So Dylan, give me a little hello.
Hello. That was a big hello.
You're going through USB 1. What the hell? Okay. I'll just do this. And it's also we also have the issue that we're going through. Here we go. I'll change this. Now we're on chat channel. Now try.
Check. Chat channel. Chat channel check. Ooh, that's
see,
a bit of an interesting.
Is the camera processing audio? I had something like this before. I don't think so. Here, don't hold the. I'm gonna try to turn down the camera. Oh no, your camera audio. Is your camera got audio on? No,
my camera's audio right now is set to external, and the external preamp is actually off. So there's zero audio going into my camera right now.
God damn it. Beresford Productions, congrats on finding a new co-host. Hopefully you have as much chemistry with Dylan as you had with
Dylan. Yeah,
Dylan. The delay is majestic.
I am God.
Yeah, no. Okay, actually, you know what? I changed the settings on here, so I'm gonna go back here. Talking.
This is me talking. Check out my talkage.
And you're going through USB chat. What a maddening situation, my friend.
Oh, man.
So I turned Mix Minus on and it does nothing.
Well, it should be called Mix Plus.
But that tells me that it's, well, Mix Minus would only be for yours. Do you have Mix Minus on? You have that setting in your live mixer.
No, it's not. And again, there's nothing to minus because there's no loop.
I know.
There's no, like, the only level in the Rodecaster app right now is my mic direct feed.
Well, what's telling me there's something wrong, because if I were to move you around, let's say I take you to Rodecaster video. Oh, that would be taking me through the secondary.
I'm wearing this logo. I really wish I could be of more use right now. I've been knee deep in other stuff. Rodecaster.
See, I just moved over to USB 2 for
USB 2
audio on my end. Yeah, so my secondary, and still nothing. So chat, I can move this around no matter. So nothing's changing on my end, despite what in. That's why I'm like a little confused whether or not it's mine. I like it says his camera. Can Dylan say an announcer voice Super Smash Brothers? Hint of Shrimp. That's Shrimp asking.
Oh God, Super Smash Brothers. No, that failed. See, I can't hear myself. It's messing me up.
Dick is saying, Dylan, do you have a basic interface you can try? Because you can technically use a separate audio interface than the video interface.
Yeah, well, yeah, which is kind of what I'm doing. Again, the audio, like your return audio, as far as Streamer X or StreamYard is concerned, is completely bypassing the thing that is taking the audio in. And there's no like talk.
Hey, how's it going, eh?
Yeah, there's no speakerage in the room, so there's physically, it would be physically impossible for these two audio paths to cross. But
Well, okay, so you having an echo because you're sending me your audio. That's how you're on StreamYard, and you're technically sending me your audio, and I'm sending the audio out. Dude, what if we joined Clean Feed?
What if we joined forces? Oh, Clean Feed?
Yeah. Send me a link.
Okay, all right. Give me a sec. Pardon my blurry presence.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Clean Feed, I think, might be the way to go. Frankly, I wouldn't mind the delay for one stream. It can be a bit for today. Yeah, we need a bit every time. Hey, we don't know how to handle the audio on our channel. You know, the audio channel we have? Have Dylan log out from the stream, then log back in.
All right. Bye. Coming back.
Did you send that to me on Facebook?
I'm trying to see if I can see in the little meter in StreamYard. All right, let me reset here.
All right, Dylan's gone. How's everybody doing? My goodness. Well, Dylan's going to try that. Do you have any processing on the StreamRX? I don't know. Again, it's been a long time since I've been using the Rodecaster video for so long. Actually, you know what? I should tell Dylan to just use his Rodecaster video. He does have one as he works for Rode. Boss wife is calling. Have a good weekend. Dick, thanks for joining, buddy. I appreciate it. And hopefully you'll be coming for other live streams. So let's get into a little bit. I really wanted to talk about this because I struggled. Oh, he's here. Let's see what this is.
Did it do anything good?
No. Let me see what my settings are really quick.
Well spent.
I'm on chat. The only other thing I could say is use your Rodecaster video, but that's probably a bigger pain in the ass.
That's a whole setup process.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. I just went through it. I was just talking about some of the decision making that went into kind of the co-host thing, and it's something I sat on for the summer. And a lot of people kind of reached out and they're like, hey, you should get this person as a co-host. And one of the big ones was Alan from SoundSpeeds, because apparently Alan gave up his channel. He quit YouTube, which is always sad to see a soldier go down. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
And I thought about reaching out to Alan, and it kind of brought me full circle, which is why like some of the hijinks when Dylan left the channel, why I was trying to find a way to replicate what I wanted out of the Friday stream, which was hanging out without turning it into work. And you know, I've sat with the concept since we started this, that this is kind of a relaxation, kind of a hangout thing. There's no work that goes into this. Dylan and I don't like prep content.
There probably should be, but there isn't. The work is pouring a drink. That's the only work required.
Apparently, we don't even work on the audio, Dylan.
Yeah, the one part that we should be actually.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to skip out. I'm going to reboot my Rodecaster video because I just realized I updated it right before this.
Oh.
Maybe that's it. Okay. Hold the team. I will be right back.
Hold the team. All right. I'll hold the team. And if it's all right with you, fam, I'm going to take this off because it is hot. And, you know, no disrespect to Peter, right? You know, mad respect, but this is too much. This is too much. So we're undoing this. This is turning into a different kind of stream. No. All right. There we go. Yeah, I got the flannel underneath. See, that's not good. Not good. Too many layers. It's we're not quite in the clear of the snow yet. How's everybody doing? I don't even know. It's funny. Aiden and I have been talking now for like 20 minutes. I'm just looking at Hint and Shrimp here. I can't highlight comments because I'm not that guy. So I'm just going to kind of look at them and hopefully you guys can see which one I'm talking about. Hint and Shrimp says, what headphones those, Aiden? Love the look. I haven't even noticed which ones he's wearing. I'm rocking the SRH 840As as per usual. I do have a pair of Bayer DT 1990s that I've been rocking for mixing, but got a shotgun mic, 2 inches from my head. So open back headphones are not going to be my friend right now. Hopefully this fixes the issue.
Nope. Were you? Oh yeah. Even with me gone, you were still echoing, which means
Oh, it has to be
it's
either
you.
StreamYard or me. But again,
I win. We weren't playing for anything, but I win.
that's all that matters, man. You got to take the small wins. You know.
Yeah. I was actually going to have the output through my laptop. So I'm guessing there's something somewhere in the chain or StreamYards, but you even left StreamYards and came back.
Yeah. Weird. Hang on. You kill my video for a second. I'm gonna go and see what's going on.
All right. Oh no, that's full.
Hold the fort.
There we go.
All right.
I'm gonna mute your mic too. Do you want to stay on?
That's fine. I won't make any noises.
All right, no farting.
All right, I'll try.
As a stripper music. Oh dear God. Shrimp wants to know what these are the NTH 100s, but I've got the custom color things on them. Rode sent me a bunch of colors, which I still have yet to get to Dylan. And yeah. Let's just go through stripper music. Love it. Hey buddy, Juan Carlos Arujo. Paradigm Hoy. How's it going, buddy? Sorry if I butchered the hell out of your name. I apologize. Those are my favorite headphones. Mine too. I actually the DT770s I've always used for my main editing rig, and I like this summer has been really hot. And son of a bitch, like the ear cuffs on that are so gross now, and this not at all. So like they're a little bit heavier, these headphones, but I'll be damned, your ears don't sweat anywhere near. Sofin, doing good. If you wouldn't mind, could you introduce yourself a bit? I'm still pretty new around here, so I admittedly don't know about you yet. Okay. Ex morning show host, podcast
just do the
guy.
do the full resume.
Yeah. Okay. So I was born at Thunder Bay, Ontario. So podcast guy. I edit for a couple very, very large podcasts. I picked up a new client this summer. So I edit for podcasts. I'm more of one of the top end editors.
Man, you gotta work on your elevator pitch, man.
Well, I'm on the spot.
Well, that's the point. Am I echoing, by the way?
You're still echoing.
Okay.
And started this channel about quite a while ago, just almost kind of messing around. I've been an audio guy. I've worked in audio for a long time, morning show host on the radio, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I review microphones. So that's what I do. One says, not a problem. What do we got here? Good friend on the radio switched to his DT770s for some Sony 7506. Yes, those are fantastic. Best switch ever. Perfect for radio duties. I would say I've used the 7506 on almost every morning show I ran. I prefer the NTH 100s quite a bit. Like I don't mind the Sony 7506. I find they're a little too expensive for their build quality. But yeah. What's your take on that? Just told you. And Hinted Shrimp, what was the canned drink y'all reviewed forever ago? Oh God, that was the stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Zip Fizz. And Dylan just disappeared. Look at that. I'll get back to kind of why I brought Dylan back. And like I was going over a lot of this stuff over the summer and realizing that if it wasn't Dylan, the show shouldn't exist. I have no interest. I really want this to be a hangout with a lot of the people in the community. And that's the whole point behind this. I want to like communicate with you guys. I want to chat with you. I want to answer questions. I want to get to know new people. I don't want this to be about me doing work for Friday, because then I'm going to hate doing it. And it's just going to burn me out. I'm not going to want to do it. And especially recently that I've gotten more work. Yeah. Big deal. So one of the reasons I told Dylan that I didn't want to bring Dylan into the whole scenario was because when he got hired on by Rode, I felt like there might be some some issues with some, not necessarily with Dylan. Dylan's awesome. Dylan, I don't think is going to do anything stupid like let stuff slip. But there's always a concern that Dylan might, or the community might foresee having somebody from the Friedman Group working here, that there would be favoritism towards a brand.
Biases. Yeah.
Holy crap, you're back and you don't echo.
I don't know, man. I flipped all the buttons. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
The best producer I've ever met, guys. Like literally I introduced him as one of the best young producers in Canada. And the fucking guy just said, I
spend my day, designing loudspeakers and mixers. And here I am, like, I just press the buttons and it works.
Fuck, I love you, man. That's awesome.
That's
I want to stream playing. Yeah, any old games, I'd love to. I've actually considered starting a gaming channel, but I'll get into what has happened over the summer. But anyways, I was worried about Dylan having the community seeing somebody working on this channel that also worked with or works with the Friedman Group, being a conflict of interest. It isn't for me. It isn't for Dylan. It wasn't even for Peter. Peter's like specifically told me, go ahead.
Oh yeah. He was kind of bummed actually when we said we're gonna keep doing the stream. He's like, oh, that's fucking.
Well, Peter tells me he wakes up Saturday morning and he watches the stream. Now we were one of his Saturday morning cartoons.
Hi, Peter. Shout out if you're here.
Yeah, if you're watching, buddy.
I know. See, the thing is I know now, working with our lovely Oz friends, that the time zones can be a little bit wonky. So normally, I think in the wintertime, we're like 9 a.m. I think now it's like maybe 7 or 8 a.m.
Yeah, actually, he might be on stream. If he's on stream, hey, Peter.
Morning.
So one of the things that I came to terms with was that I don't give a fuck. And I think that kind of
when has that ever changed?
Well, no, I mean, when you're a review brand, the perception of your loyalties is very important.
Of course.
But at the same time, and you'll notice, like last week, I did a video on the here it is, the 545. Well, actually, I love this mic, the 545 SD. And I talked about it. It wasn't necessarily a review. It was more of the history of, because what are you going to do? Review this? A microphone that's been around longer than this? Oh yeah.
You say that, but 58's pretty long in the tooth too.
Well, no, true story. But technically, have I ever quote unquote reviewed the SM58? No. I've never actually done an official review of this.
That's fair.
I've compared it to a million things, because who the fuck's going to review an SM58 and go,
we recorded a song with it.
Yeah. So, but what brought me to that is simply that, what you've been for this channel, with this channel. If people are going to look at your involvement, however small it is on a Friday live or in the odd video, like there are videos coming out where Dylan in his new role is going to be a part of, and he will be a part of the videos in his new role. So he will be representing on the videos, and I'm cool with that. Because man, I got somebody from the Friedman Group that can actually that's so cool. That's something that I have access to. And for me to not use that is kind of silly. If you've watched any of my reviews and if you think that they're tilted in any way, you haven't watched enough of my videos. I have burned literal bridges to the ground in this job. I'm actually still rebuilding with Zoom. I still chat with them. I bought the H5 myself. I think they're lending me the H6 Studio, but I'm still rebuilding. Takes
time.
Yeah, but it's also there's no apologies. There's no I'm sorry. And that I don't mean that to be mean or show favoritism or a lack thereof. It's just that's the nature of the job. That's the nature of this. If I end up having to buy all of my products from a specific company, I'm just going to go out of my way and buy them. And you can see the company like shrink up when I'm buying all their products up just to review them. But like the good faith between me and companies is if you stand behind your product, send it to me. If you don't, maybe you don't want to. And I hold that. That is the rule I have with all the companies. If you don't 100% stand behind your product, don't send it to me. And I don't reach out. I don't reach out and ask for products anymore because of the Essential Series fiasco. Because I mean, part of the issue with that is I did request it, which was a little dirty. But like, so the question is, do you just send it all back and then just say, sorry, I can't review this? No. That's my job, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's journalism. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
turn away from the shitty news story because you got to ask somebody a tough question. Like,
I was just so excited about that. Like, I was so excited about a new handheld that I was like, send them all to me. And they're like, sure. And then I'm like, oh, well, sorry, guys. And, I mean, that's circling back to the live stream. Yeah, it came down to, you know what? I mean, for the sake of what this live stream is to the 20 to 30 people that see it, sometimes it's upwards 300-400 over the course of the week. If anybody in that 300 to 400 has a problem, jump on, ask questions. Dylan knows what he can say and what he can't say. Dylan will be refraining from excessive opinions on things. Like, and one of the nice things Peter told us is he knows that Dylan uses other products. He knows that Dylan uses an SM7B.
Quite frankly, that's part of my job. That's part of my role. A huge element of the capacity that I do, without giving too much away, is competitive analysis. Is seeing, okay, what's everybody doing, right? What's everybody doing? What's the best? What's the good, the bad, and the ugly? And so absolutely, in fact, I go out of my way to use as many competitor products as possible and figure out what's awesome about them and maybe what could be done better. And there's a lot in that second category. And so, I mean, so I'm absolutely, I'm not going to give opinions on everything, but when I do, it'll be very truthful. In fact, I've been urged many times, I'm so used to kind of the North American management style of like, oh, what's the line we toe? And they're like, no, keep your role as pure as possible. Because that's how, that's our litmus test. So that's what I'm doing.
Richard says, Dylan, you're looking good these days. Glad to see you back in action. Yeah, so am I. While the summer break was going to happen, because they kind of have to happen around here with all the shit going on.
Honestly, okay. So I like it. UK looks like Dylan. So this has always been behind me. It's just that I decided to not be a lazy shit and actually move my camera.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, it looks awesome. I'm like, when I was doing the live all last year, all of this stuff was beside me. Yep. It's just that it was the least flattering camera angle.
Well, so, you also, I gotta say,
welcome to my studio.
You do have an upgrade on lens, and the lens upgrade is fucking gorgeous. Let me just tell you.
Yeah. See, I could have done I got a 51.4 that I could have used, but I would have to have the camera in the bathroom for that to really get this composition.
Juan wants to start a small headphone collection, still using the OG HyperX Clouds, got the cable replaced as my main. Where do I start? It all depends on what you're using to power your headphones. I mean, if you're using an interface that or if you're not using an interface at all, there's a lot of things that go into that. That's trying to give suggestions on that. Nobody cares as long as you make it known you work for a company. Yeah, I do know that there's going to be blowback from this, and
always, yeah.
Like you can't make a step like something like this without expecting a little bit of bullshit. And it was me coming to terms and going, I don't fucking care, and that's why, like, I can kind of say, it will be fine. People can complain, they can bitch all they want.
No, and again, like people need to understand too, my job in this, empire of an enterprise is so far away from marketing, right? I am not even close to marketing on that side. I'm in product development. I'm in product management is really the kind of department that I'm under, which is trying to figure out how to make something cool and make it not lose a bunch of money if we sell it to people. You know, and so sometimes that's a challenge. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. Again, there's people's jobs riding on this stuff, so you can't screw around with that. But there's products I'm working on right now that there's like, you know, there's stuff that I'm like, oh, it'd be so awesome, and then you know, you look at the cost of just some small little changes, and you're like, really? Wow. Okay. That is not at all like it's a bit of a reality check when you're trying to
Yeah.
make something sustainable, right? If it costs more to make the thing than you can sell it for, well, that's not really a business, is it? So there's yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. That's all I gotta say. It's a lot of fun, and there's
Yeah.
some really cool stuff coming. Aiden knows about some of it. Shut up.
Yeah. No, I'm the last person to say
I
if
know,
I'm
I know.
yeah, if I'm gonna burn a bridge with any company, it's not because I opened my mouth on a
I know.
I've signed documents that I can be sued if I were to open my mouth. So I'll keep my mouth shut.
Me also.
Soften says, what has been your experience with companies reaching out? Does it happen often? 95% of the channel is companies reaching out. I buy stuff like I bought the 545 and 565. That's a bit like I do go out and I do still buy stuff. I got to check my Ring doorbell. I just heard my dogs doing.
Ding dong.
But for the most part, I do rely on companies to reach out and to provide stuff, and that's just because I would go broke. Most of the stuff that I review on this channel, I don't use again. Like I still use there. You can tell the stuff I'm really backing. I use the Rodecaster video. I still use the SE Dynacaster is up there. I use the MKH 416 daily. I use the SM58. There's a lot of stuff that I use consistently. DLZ Creator XS is still on my desk. That's my main driver for my PC. But if I were to go out and buy everything that I reviewed, I wouldn't be able to run the channel. It's so expensive. Like, I mean, you look at the cost of the MKH 416, $1,000. I bought my first one that I ended up giving to Dylan as kind of a Christmas present. So like that's they sent me another one. I was using the Rode NTG3 for quite a while, and then I lent that to Dylan for some reason. I don't know if I got that back. It might be somewhere.
You did.
Oh, did I?
We
Okay.
did tradesies. Yeah, and one just, you know, again, a sign that I'm not biased. I'm actually going through the Deity S Mic 3 right now. That is my mic of choice. Because it was convenient, and I didn't, I couldn't get the 3/8 adapter out of the fucking clip for the MKH.
You know what's good for that? A pair
Quarters?
of large, a pair of large nail clippers.
Oh, yeah.
I always have them around, and the actual handle.
I got this thing. It works pretty well.
It's a
it does
pain in the
decent
ass
job,
still.
but it is a pain in the ass, and especially and it's all like seized up in there. Like I ain't taken that mic off of that arm in a long time, probably like 8 months, and so it's really just, especially with the humidity changes and stuff. It's good in there.
Yeah, no kidding. Gonna miss you, dude. I don't know who's leaving. Oh, nobody's leaving, Shrimp. Promise. Awesome, man. That's so cool. The audio community seems to be very tight knit between companies and creators. Kind of. And I've been trying to unite a lot of.
It should be more, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, there needs to be more communication because I don't know, like I speak for Friedman Group, and I think, you know, hopefully a lot of other companies. We want to make stuff that people like, right? That's the goal. The goal is to make stuff that people like. We sat there, like, again, I'm not going to get into specifics, but I sat in several ideation sessions trying to figure out a user workflow, like an OBE or an out of box experience, as we call it, peek behind the curtain. And trying to figure out how do we make this as simple and sexy as possible, like while also giving you everything like to get off the ground quickly. And probably sat there for 3 or 4 hours just talking back and forth about just the out of box experience for a product, a high end product, but still product. And so, and like getting back to it, there needs to be more communication. I think more companies need to understand that, content creators are the front line. And
Yeah.
if you want to get a sense of, especially in the different verticals, like what people want as far as features, maybe, I don't know, interview some of the content creators. They talk to a lot of the communities. They know what's going on.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I also think there needs to be more um communication and activity between creators as well. I think there's a really important part of the community is, like the Discord community is really, really tight and really active with podcastages. But like podcastages and I chat, we're on good terms. But there's never really much to do between us because of distance and all that. And that's one of the
Bandrew, you
things.
were supposed to play Triangle on one of our covers, man.
Oh, we're
Come
still doing
on.
that. We're doing the Seven Nation Army thing, which is
Yeah.
still happening. I still have this bloody thing behind me here. That's gonna happen. I'll get into my summer in a second. But yeah, I really wish there was more. And I know it's a really small community, audio community. Like I compare it to the community, computer builders on YouTube, where it's everyone's working together all the time. They communicate, unless you're Linus Tech Tips and PC Jesus. For the most part, they're really like working together, and I wish there was more of that. And I've been trying to like push that forward, but we'll see. Hinter Shrimp says, "Wait, what? I must be high. I thought y'all were saying Dylan has to leave because of a new job. No, Dylan left because of a new job.
Yeah.
And whatever you're smoking, dude, send me some." So what's the headline about someone wants to buy the channel? Like UK. Nice. We'll get that to
It's not me. I feel like when I first saw your channel, I was like, oh man, he's really clickbaiting the shit out of this. I'm like, I'm not buying the channel. And then you kind of gave me some, I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna say I don't got the money for that right now.
SR375, please make a 1U version of the Rodecaster with Ethernet and SNMP MIDI controls and maybe a custom REST interface. Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Dylan's gonna write that down furiously. I'm gonna cheers, buddy. Long time no see, man. Well, I see you on Discord. I like it. So what's a headline about somebody who wants to buy my channel?
Read that again. What was that? 1U
okay,
rack mount.
Come back to you. I like it. 1 second. 1U version of the Rodecaster with Ethernet, SNMP, MIDI controls, and maybe a custom REST interface.
Power over Ethernet or no?
I would imagine.
Man.
PoE is probably a pain in the ass, but yeah.
Well, it's just the different versions, right? I mean, the main one, 16 or 15.4 watts, is a bit of a bitch when it comes to, at least if you want to change stuff, obviously.
Yeah. All right. I like it. What's the headline about someone wants to buy my channel? Someone actually approached me to buy the channel. And I told him I was going to consider an offer, but he asked what my offer was. And I'm not going to out it. Somebody wanted to turn this into a music channel. And they wanted to basically like just be able to slide in, still do some reviews, but mostly, a set audience, maybe kind of work it in. So they would pay me, and we would kind of phase me out and phase them in. And they asked how much I wanted. They didn't put up a number. And true to my word, I'll consider it. And so I came up with the offer. I said 20 million. But they also have to hire me for 5 years at $100,000 a year to basically transfer the company over and to work in that respect. I haven't heard back. And you know what I mean? Honestly, like, yeah, if I got a lot of money, I'd probably sell the channel and just start another one. So I'll come to Discord. I'll let you know what the new channel is, guys. But yeah, like no, I'm not going to sell the channel. If somebody offers me, let me be honest. If I get 10 million, I'd probably just go start a second channel.
A third channel, I mean.
Well, no, I would start another audio-based channel. 100%. 100%. But yeah, like I'm not making the amount of money I make isn't mind-blowing. Don't get me wrong, but there's no ceiling to how much money I make. I have, as of this year, I'm now making more money than I've ever made, with the exception of 1 year when I was working in the oil field, or not in the oil fields, but for Cisco out of Edmonton. And I was running up into the Northwest Territories. I was making a lot of money. I've never made this much in my life. And a lot of that has to do with my editing, my podcast editing, but this is also a significant chunk of that. And so I'm not giving that up for anything other than life-changing money. That means my wife will never have to work again. Or she can work at whatever she wants. And myself as well, but mostly I can go start a second channel and bring everyone over and just keep reviewing mics. I don't care. I'm not signing a non-compete if I ever sold it, but all that aside, I'm not selling. But I mean, if anyone wants to pay me $10-20 million for the channel and hire me for 5 years, sure. It's good shit. I love you, Shrimp. You're awesome. Great. Now we're turning into Dylan's weekly R&D feedback report. You know what, guys? I've been saying this since day one. If you guys come to me, and this has happened many times, I've given feedback from you guys to several different companies, to Zoom, to
Also
like,
say a disclaimer too. Like I'm all about taking down ideas. I don't really care who or what they're from. Everything needs to be investigated. So just because you tell me an idea does not mean it's magically going to turn into a thing tomorrow.
no.
You know, these things all have to be vetted for like, all right, what percentage of the market of users wants said thing? I love rack mount stuff. Obviously, I got 2 racks on either side of me here, chocked full of goodies. But there's lots of people that hate rack mount stuff. And so or
Well,
that
but
just
then
don't feel like
but you look
investing in
at
racks.
Elgato's got a 1U Stream Deck.
Mhm.
Like, there's got to be market for rack
Oh,
mount.
there is, but it's usually, you know, there's a, you know, we call it like the rack mount tax, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you get in a rack mount territory, like most of the stuff behind me, if I'm just looking at an average based on what I see, you know, I'd say the average in this rack is probably about $3,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Just based on some of the stuff, and that's just rack mount stuff is expensive. You know, and the only reason that is because I don't have any like Manleys or Shadow Hills comps back here driving it up to like $8,000 a piece.
Yeah. So, like, a good example of feedback that I've given personally has been to Zoom for their first, what was their little interface, the 32-bit float interface they released. And one of the things people asked for was a gain knob. And I had a couple of my viewers return their product because there was no gain knob. Now, a lot of people don't know this about 32-bit float is you don't need a gain knob, and a gain knob is just turning volume up. And the reason is because you have 2 set preamps or converters.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 set converters.
Dual limiter, yeah.
One is high, one is low.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
one is loud, one is not.
yeah, and so turning the volume up or turning the gain up, there's once you have 2, there's no such thing as a gain knob. You can have a gain knob as you do with the H5 Studio, which basically lets you kind of have less work in post.
Well,
if you really wanted to level shit out.
The gain knob, I guess, from a I don't know, a theory standpoint, on a lot of 32-bit interfaces that have a gain knob, it's actually more of a trim knob. Would be
Yes,
would be
that's a good
a more accurate term rather than gain specifically, because the preamps are usually preset. They're 2
Yes.
separate paths at 2 separate amplification stages, and then you've got your trim knob to sort of, I don't know, balance those. But usually you wouldn't need to, because that's the whole point of 32-bit float recording.
Exactly. So, and I sent feedback because that was the feedback that I got. And, you know, I mean, you're going to have a lot of people that don't understand 32-bit float. And I'll put myself in there. I was one of the ones that I understood the fundamentals of what it was, but it wasn't until I actually did the video with Zoom with Samuel that I realized, okay, there's a lot more to this, and like, this is really cool, but this is also why this happens and that happens and this happens. And also the understanding of what 32-bit float is, the fact that it's a container, that's it.
Oh, so much snake oil.
But it's so, and this is like, this
So
is coming from a guy that works for a company that has 32-bit float products.
yeah.
There is a lot of snake oil and marketing behind 32-bit float and people just get mad about it. And it's like, guys, it's a container.
Well, there's this
And
whole like elitist, like purity versus corruption conversation about the 32-bit float. And again, I feel like it's a lot of, a lot of self-proclaimed mathematicians
yeah,
that are coming out and they're like, well, that's not true 32-bit float. It's like true 32-bit float would be 32-bit fixed. That is what true, quote unquote, true 32-bit float would be. And 32-bit fixed is useless. From an audio recording standpoint,
yeah.
32-bit fixed, the amount of dynamic range that it gives you, do you have any idea? Sorry, Shotgun Mike. Do you have any idea?
Stop clapping.
Do you have any idea the dynamic range that it gives you versus the Johnson Nyquist noise that is in real life? Like what a microphone, like what is it, neg 133?
Yeah.
dB. Like
I think it's neg 130.
And 32-bit. Somebody knows this. I guarantee somebody in the comments. Tell us what the decibel amount. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's a very large, exponentially large number of decibels. It's in the thousands, I'm pretty sure, of decibels you get with 32-bit float.
Fixed,
and I don't know, fixed. Yeah, fixed. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people got opinions. It's like, and you remember that time we had an argument with somebody about whether the SM7B has an output transformer on it.
Oh yeah, no, that was the SM. Yeah, there was the SM7B, and he's like, I've seen it in the schematics, and I'm like,
no, you haven't. Go on
I don't know
the
what
company's website. The company that makes its website.
And you know what the trick is? You can literally take the back off of it and see there's no transformer in there.
Yeah,
you can literally do that.
Open it.
Yeah, like when you open up the SM58, you see the transformer. It's buried in all the goop.
Yeah, it's potted. Yeah, it's potted in there, all gross and shit.
Anyways, where this was beginning was giving feedback. If you guys want something and you don't like, or you think something can be improved upon, companies love that shit. They love unsolicited, unpaid advice on the products.
See, unsolicited is tricky, right? Because people, like, as soon as something's written somewhere that's an idea, there's a copyright attached to that. And there's been situations where somebody is like, I'm gonna give you a suggestion, and they go and do it and they get sued.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, I mean, yeah, fair.
Yeah, like yeah. So there's a number of reasons why companies won't generally, like, there's a very controlled process to how we evaluate. But again, feedback. I like feedback, right? I just, as a user of the stuff, if people have cool ideas, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that on there. Now if you turn around and you say, hey, the Mac the Mackie Pro Effects needs a Toslink optical output on it, I'd be like, you're fucked, get fucked. But most things I'm like, yeah, I could see a use case for it. Whether or not there's a pattern of people that have a use case for it, that is really kind of what I'm trying to figure out. But
yeah.
Mac
Wright says, don't sell out. I don't know. I wouldn't sell out. Like selling my company isn't going to happen, because like I said, like when there's a ceiling to what you can make, like if you go to a 9-to-5 job, there's a maximum amount you can make. That's it.
Yep.
Dark Corner Studios, for all of its properties, has no ceiling. So I could wake up tomorrow a millionaire if I play my cards right. Like I've got some things in the works right now that may very well make a lot of money. So yeah, like it's no, you would have to really impress me with life-changing money. And when I say, like, there's stuff I'm working on right now, like there's stuff that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I've just recently gotten the ability. And that's just because of this channel, right? Like there's so much that this channel has given me through the past several years. Work, like I've gotten clients for podcast editing. I've made so many friends. Like, yeah, I wouldn't give this up lightly. As for being sellout, I don't know. Everyone's got a price. I still believe that.
Well, yeah, it's
Richard.
capitalism, right?
Well, I mean, it's not just capitalism, but it's also like, you know, I mean, hey, you're never gonna have to work again. Can I have your company? Sure.
Well, yeah, because now you're kind of back. You got a lump sum. There's tax on that, and so there's a bunch of like I don't know. Selling your business is not the be all end all that some people make it out to be. Like, oh, suddenly you sell your business. Like, look at Guy. What's his face? Notch. He sold Minecraft for how many millions of dollars, and
Yeah.
and quickly found himself. I mean, he did. He's quite comfortable, but like I don't know. I would prefer to have that again. That infinitely scalable kind of income stream that you're talking about. Because yeah, when you're an employee, you have somebody. When you're an employee, you have somebody else that determines what the value of your time is. When you are
Yep.
a business owner, you determine what the value of your time is. And
Yep.
that's a sliding scale. And there's not many opportunities in life other than owning a business where you get to say that.
And like owning a business like the one I own is like most businesses you get is work in, money out, right? The more work you put in, the more money you get out. Like I know if I release a second video a week, my money goes up.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
just logic.
that's just math. Yeah.
If I pick up another client for podcasting, money goes up. Money goes way up. Um, so to me, it's like time. What is my time worth? And people have like approached me, hey, do you want to do this? I'm starting a new podcast with somebody that's very, very well known within the podcast community because that's worth my time. That's something I can monetize within a year. Well, it doesn't have to be monetized. Yeah, it does. I need to, like, I'd love to do stuff for fun, but I don't even fucking play the guitar anymore. Like, you want me to do stuff for fun? I don't go out play pool. I'm a semi-professional pool player. I have been since I was 20. I don't do it anymore because of life and work. There's so many things I don't get to do for fun. The last thing I'm going to want to do for fun is something that I should be paid for. And broadcast or podcast or whatever it is part of my job. So yeah, do it for the fun or do it for the money and have fun while doing it. Right.
Right.
Both things can be true. Richard says, oh, you don't want half of our ideas, but sometimes it's fun to listen to some of the requests. Some are great. Others sound very free.
Well, that's it. Like, one of the first things that I was kind of taught in product management is, everybody's got an idea. Everybody, every single person you come across is going to have an idea. What you look for is a bunch of people that have kind of the same idea or ideas that have similarities. And then you can sort of adopt those patterns because one person being into something doesn't tell you much, but 1,000 people being into something. All right, now we maybe are getting into something,
Yeah. I'm checking I just realized my ISO. I like it says it's good to have you both back. The energy is great. Yeah, you know what? And this is part of like the whole process of us doing this and what you're trying to replace. And this is why, like, when I started looking at other candidates, part of this was hanging out with Dylan. That's why I did this. Dylan and I sit, like, we talked on the phone today for probably an hour and a half.
Oh God, at least just in spurts.
Yeah, and it's just shooting the shit. It's talking work, but it's also not talking work. We're friends. So this became kind of like a set in stone. We could hang out and like him and I hang out and chat. And it was really good for that reason.
That was the idea, right? Is, I remember even way before we had the live stream, I remember you and I used to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Like landline back when before I had moved for a radio gig, and we would talk for hours. And I remember I thought to myself, and you were morning show at the time, and I remember I thought to myself, man, we get to make this into just an actual show because this is just. And I mean, still, I think the best energy that we had, and I don't know, comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we did the show in person, that one time with the RCV to sort of show it, strut its stuff, that was awesome. And so I'm kind of looking forward to the day that we have a more formal kind of a space that we can do that from, which I know is not far off. You and I have talked.
No. Yeah, there's a good chance it's happening soon, and it might just end up being me forced out of the basement, which I think that might be what's coming. I think there's one of my kids might move home, which give them the basement. They're not having any upstairs is off limits. And if I get moved out, I'm pushed into renting a place out, which is fine. But it also means that Dylan, we have somewhere to work. And like Dylan can do his work from the same place.
Oh,
fuck,
yeah,
we wouldn't get very much done. Holy fuck.
Aiden would love me trafficking around industrial design mock-ups on our super, super secure Wi-Fi network at whatever.
Oh, you can get it secured. You have to pay for your own Wi-Fi and a lot of that stuff anyways.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I got a good router.
One says, never forget what happened to George Lucas, retired only to watch your creation get turned into a train wreck.
True that.
I don't know. I saw some of the stuff George Lucas did after, and maybe, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if his was like the broken clock being right twice a day. Outsider Jess, selling a YouTube channel makes no sense to me. It doesn't to me either. Like
you're not really, I know what I've learned. Again, I spent 10 years in advertising. You're selling an audience is really what you're selling. You're not selling the channel. The channel, who gives a fuck what the channel is? Anybody. You're selling subscribers. And that those are worth money. In fact, people will pay businesses to go and fetch them subscribers through legitimate or otherwise means. And so you're really businesses will pay it. Well, the reason influencers are the reason influencers are a thing. This is good rum. No, the reason influencers are a thing is specifically because businesses will pay a ton of money to have access to somebody's audience. Because when you're an influencer, that's basically what you're doing. You're selling your audience. You've amassed however many millions of whatever when you're an influencer, makeup influencer, food influencer, whatever. And companies are like, we want access to that group of people. And so we're going to pay you to pitch them for us. And so that tells you right out of the gate that there is a value behind an audience. And that's exactly what a YouTube channel is worth, is whatever their audience is.
Yeah. If you want an audience that is into audio gear, there you go. But like how it would work, and like, no, this isn't going to happen. Don't worry. This isn't
hypothetically, blah, blah, blah.
He would give me a bunch of money. I would continue on as is, and I would slowly introduce him as part of the channel, and then you slowly phase yourself out until and nobody knows anything happened. And that's like, it's a little dirty, don't get me wrong. It's especially if you're not telling your viewers, hey, by the way, I took a large jump.
Yeah, we're changing hands. Yeah,
which I wouldn't do. Don't worry. There's no concern where I'm like, yeah, this is Kevin. Kevin is really good with audio, but like he wanted to turn it into like a music-based channel that kind of with more of an emphasis.
Which I'm looking at that prospect and going, hey, buddy, have at her. We tried.
Yeah, we've tried the music angle.
It's not working too good.
I still see like I even with my brand new acoustic that I bought, which is fucking gorgeous, by the way. Every time I pull that out to test a microphone, you see the people dip in, and then they jump back on after the guitar's done. People on this channel don't want music, and it's slow. It will happen. I'm bringing music.
Well, it's because you got the Mayono and the Fafine crowd in here. That's what it is.
And that's why that also changed, and we no longer have that stuff. But yeah, like it's a very easy concept. I'm not going to do it again. The worst or the best case scenario would be I did it, but then I just started a second channel and continued making videos because I own all of my products. Like it would be so easy to do. Anyways, yeah, it's not going to happen. I promise you. I thought it was kind of fun.
And to outsider Jess's point, the problem is that audience won't stay. If you do it badly, yes. If you do a transition badly, but again, the goal of a business buying the channel is to keep the audience. They know that fucking with the format will sacrifice the audience. And so their goal would be to transition. So again, I don't know, whoever buying this channel, when you said they want to make a music channel, obviously they don't know who the hell the audience is. Because if they did, they would know that will just scare them all away. If you went full bore into music on this channel, which again, we will do. There's
full bore, not full bore. Don't worry.
Not full bore, but we are going to continue to dabble into music gear. There's some stuff that we're working on in the group of companies that is in that tier. I'm just so, again, I'd be so vague because, again, in my brain at this point, I've met the people that's jobs rely on the secrecy of this information until launch and until, whatever. And so I'm not going to screw with that because these people are my fam now, and them having a job makes me happy. So
yes, just know that whenever something happens that nobody can talk about, I'm going to have a hell of a story to tell. I know that the story behind all of this is phenomenal, and it's a great piece. That's all I'm going to say. It's a great piece.
Multiple pieces.
There's a really there's a lot of like really heartfelt stuff in it and stuff that kind of makes you go, aw. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, if I were to, let's say Dylan bought the channel and I didn't tell you, I would just slowly
That's a hell of a bank loan.
I would just start slowly introducing Dylan into videos. First, he becomes a walk-on a video where I reach out to him and he does something. And then slowly over time, now he's hosting the odd video, maybe one every couple of months. And then he's doing a few more after that.
Jerker in the house. What up, Jerker? We missed you, buddy.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to that. But it would be so seamless that most people wouldn't see it. So that
that's the goal, right? You, Aiden, and myself, we worked for a long time in radio. We were you were part of some ownership shenanigans. I was part of some ownership shenanigans. Yes. There's always the buy, and then they'll just kind of leave things running for a while, observe what it is that's going on and how it's working, and then find a way to keep that facade while also, changing the whole back end to fit the new business structure. And there's a lot of there's consultants, quite frankly, that get paid millions of dollars to orchestrate these things.
I like it. UK just said, so if Dylan's on the left side of the screen, should we be worried? And I just moved you over to the left side of the screen.
Hey, yeah, you should be worried.
I think my crappy Fifine SC3 might be peaking when plugged into my PS5, but I'm not sure if it's user error or if it's defective. I would lean on the side of it's a Fifine. And that's nothing. That's no shade against Fifine.
No, and I'm reacting that way not because I have a bias. It's because I've used said product. And
it's there's no. It's not even just quality control. It's also like I can't tell you how many people when it came to the Mono PD100X. When I did the test where I got right up onto the microphone and I kept talking into it at a regular volume and it was distorted as all hell. And everyone's like, well, idiot, don't get up close to the microphone. And it's like, okay, you guys are idiots. Thanks. There's no quality control and it's not built to be a quality product. It's built to take your money. So that's why like I've moved away from Fifine. Like I had positive interactions with Fifine as a company even with their products. I wasn't like blown away by them, but also like, some of it's.
Hey, I got a question.
What's that?
Did you get that U87 Temu job? We didn't talk about this. I'm genuinely curious. Did you get it? Was it a shit?
It's right here. I'm showing you.
Even the sound of the plastic hurt my ears. Oh God.
Yeah. This is a U87. That's a serial number on it. It's U87. And it's got there's a little thing. So you can select your polar pattern on a U87 AI, right? So this has the cardioid.
Hang on.
All right. Here it is. This has a cardioid polar pattern where, like with Dylan's, you can see the cardioid. This is a sticker, however. That's the difference between these. And yeah, Dylan, I need to borrow your U87 AI.
Yeah, I want to hear a back and forth between these. Because again, this is a very, this is a good design, but it's an old design. And the problem with old designs is, do you know how many times something like this has been put in like a 3D analyzer by some company to try to gauge exactly?
They didn't even make it the exact same way though. Like I'm looking at the Yeah,
I
no,
left
it's
the setting on.
not as angled on top. Anyways,
I left the
um,
low cut. Oops.
Jerker, how's it going?
Jerker.
I missed you guys too. You guys were an integral part of my Friday weekend initiation ritual, and even after months, it felt so odd without you guys. That's sweet. Thanks, buddy. I
Honestly,
appreciate that.
I gotta say the same thing. Like this was, you guys say that from an audience perspective, but for us too, this
Yeah.
was, a bit of a way, this is part of my routine. It was sometimes a very chaotic part of my routine, but it was still a part of my routine.
Okay. One of my favorite things about this microphone, by the way, I know Dylan probably can't see this,
I'm
but
I'm looking at it.
if
Hang on.
if you open up if you open up a U87 AI and you see the circuit board, it is something to behold. The circuit board is just
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the circuit board on
It's
this.
a good effort.
This is the circuit board. You see that, Dylan?
Oh God.
Oh
Ew.
God, indeed.
Oh.
That is the circuit board on my U87 AI. And
At least it's blue. I haven't even opened. What's the? You didn't open my U87, did you?
no, God, no.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
I would never do that. I would ask.
You know what?
first.
You and I will do that together. We
Yes.
will take apart my U87 on video together. I will be in the room. That is a process
With
that
a
I
gun
will.
pointed at the back of my head.
Yeah.
All I have to do is put $5,000 into limbo. So if something happens, you just take the 5,000. How about that?
And it's I don't know. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of these product, the reason, like looking at this U87, right? I'm going to take it out again just so that because it's good eye candy. There's a lot of threads on this little shock. Oh, there we go.
I moved you back. Get in your place.
In my place. This guy. The reason why this is a lot of money is number one, it's a good mic, right? I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. It's it does well, especially in off-axis situations, which is a lot of what I tend to use it for, figure eight, for example. But it's there's a lot of hand human manual labor inside of this microphone. Does that need to be? Manual human labor. It's really fun and wholesome that it is. And I certainly have bought into it. Hence why I bought this with my own money. Bought this from Cutting Records. Bought
with
this
my
little
own money
with my own coin. But again, there's ways of getting this same quality via automated processes. In fact, one of the biggest companies in audio from yesteryear is API. And do you know what, Aiden? Do you know what API stands for?
Automated production. I don't know what the I is.
Automated Processes Incorporated.
Processes Incorporated. It's been a while.
And so again, I'll be honest, I haven't looked into the history of API. I have their shit in my rack and it sounds really good. And they have been used on countless records. But okay, with a name like that, I'm going to assume there's some automation involved in the manufacturing.
Well, I love the line from Peter, who's like, do you think there's some grandma sitting at her kitchen table whittling away and getting you a mic capsule? Like it's not how it works. You don't hand make capsules. There's no such thing as a handmade capsule.
You can't get the level of precision required. And like, I don't know, I was using, I won't say what system it is, but we have a loudspeaker measurement tool at one of the group's companies that we use, in Seattle, Washington. Whoops. I that may have said what its company it is. No, we have a loudspeaker measurement device that's a very high-end, well-calibrated device. And its job is to measure in three-dimensional space the response field of a loudspeaker. And the little things that you have to do, we've been working on some tech in this space, so I can kind of speak to it a little bit. The things that you have to do and adjust in horn design, in trying to get the ideal dispersion on a loudspeaker. It is really hard to, I don't know. I'm picturing somebody on like a lathe trying to do that by hand. And I'm like, no, man, CNC is where it's at, or something like that. It's machines are capable of being a lot more consistent
Yep.
and a lot more reliable when it comes to, again, getting a certain result. Now, I'm not throwing any shade at this because the people that designed this microphone they've been doing it for a long time. The people that built this microphone have been doing it for a long time. And so they know what they're doing. It's got great on axis, off axis response. In fact, shameless plug, Aiden did a video comparing it to the Rode NT1. And if you should look at part 1 of that video first, if you have.
Oh, I've gotten so much hate over the summer for that.
No, but that was awesome. You know why? Because
Yeah.
that illustrated the bullshit, and I hate to say it, but I don't at the same time. The bullshit that is the kind of the ultra high end, the artisanal grade. Artisanal grade stuff is expensive because it took so many fucking man tears and sweat
Yeah.
to make it. But it's like, well, what if we could do almost exactly like 99.999% of that? And do it without all of that blood, sweat, and tears.
My favorite idiotic comment now on that video, and I mean idiotic, is somebody will show up and they'll say, well, I haven't watched the second video yet, so I'm not sure, but they sound exactly the same. And there's at one point in the middle, and it's like, fuck off, dude. You went and you watched the second video. Shut up. Like,
Now, at the same time, Aiden, I would love to see that same video with 2 NT1s and then 2 U87s, matched pairs of both, if said are available, which they
Ooh.
pretty are, as room mics for a drum kit. Because again,
Okay.
what we see from a lot of, and especially condenser mics, is their on-axis performance is very similar, but their off-axis performance, in other words, sound that arrives at, for people that aren't maybe super familiar with those terms, on-axis is a sound that's right in front of the mic, coming right at that front grill. Off-axis is anything coming at it from around it.
Yep.
So obviously, using this as a room mic, if I set this, ow, my finger, if I set this, there we go. No, that's figure eight, you fucking asshole. There we go. Omnidirectional. If I set 2 of these in Omni and put them in a room where I've got multiple reflections of stuff hitting the microphone from different angles at different times, causing different weird cancellations, that is often where you see the value of a microphone that is of this tier versus your kind of $50 or
and I mean, and you like, and I've been doing a review of a microphone, and you put it into Omni and you start walking around, and it's supposed to be perfectly
completely
like
balanced.
You're not even moving the mic.
Phase. Yep.
It's
not.
It's really hard to do.
It never is.
Yeah.
I've even done it with this one, and you can hear the phase relationship change as you move around the mic, which is, again, it's physics, guys. It's there's a capsule back here. It moves that way when a sound hits it. The excursion is the opposite coming from the front. You've got that kind of the cancellation nodes on the side. There's a lot of stuff that these microphones are working around to try to achieve that completely balanced phase response around the microphone. And that's not even talking about like height as well in the 3-dimensional space.
Yeah.
It gets very complicated very quickly.
Also, on top of that, even in the cardioid position, when you go off axis, and this is really important when you're recording anything in anything other than an anechoic chamber, sound isn't linear, right? Sound is like ripples in water.
Sound is logarithmic.
Logarithmic. And what happens is when you're talking into any microphone and you're using it like this, you imagine your voice going straight, but there's like your voice is going up, it's going here, and the voice is going to come around. Your off-axis coloration, even in cardioid, when you look at a really nice mic like a U87 AI and you go 45 degrees off axis, and then you do that on a $100 microphone, you're going to notice a big difference, even in cardioid. And that's again, there's a lot of things that come down to it. I can't understand what goes into a U87 AI to give it that, but I also don't think 99% of people need that. So like, SR375 says I bought an NT1A over that video.
Nice.
Like there's so much about microphones that don't apply to 99% of us. Why does a studio own a U87 AI if it's worthless? It's not worthless. But those same studios own NT1s. Why do they own NT1s if they've got a U87 AI? Right? Like, there's more than one truth in everything you do.
All paintbrushes have hairs. They all have hairs, and so if your only criteria, just like with the microphone reproduces sound relatively accurately. If your only criteria is that, then any mic will suit your needs. But like paintbrushes, an artist could have 100 paintbrushes in their arsenal. All of them are going to create different strokes, and so microphones are the same way. A lot of what makes a microphone unique is its kind of non-linear performance, right? How does that microphone react with that instrument in that room? Right. And that in and of it, there's a lot of variables in there. And Aiden touched on some of them with, you've got a direct sound coming from your mouth, for example, to the mic, but your mouth projects sound even from your neck. There's warmth that projects in all directions. This is where your larynx is, for God's sake.
Your chest, even your chest. Put a microphone at your chest.
Yeah. And it's, these mics are picking up all of that and in relation to each other, and so there's a lot of mathematics in there. That's not just like, hey, we fed a signal directly out of mic in an anechoic chamber and we got 20 to 20 kilohertz, so it must be perfect. No, that's not how sound works in a real environment. Maybe again, in an anechoic chamber, sure, but nobody's using them in that.
I really wish I could go back and redo that video, but include the guitar. And I might, because a lot of people are like, well, you should try it with the guitar. Well, that's not how sound works. Sound is math. Yes, you will. Yes, you will hear differences between voice and music. Music has more fullness across the frequency range.
Well, and again, it's voice is narrow band of instruments, and music are broadband, right? You've got a very large range of frequencies interacting with each other. And that causes some little kind of interfrequency distortions and constructive and destructive distortions that interact with each other. There's a lot of math there. I'm not an acoustics expert. I've recently come into contact with someone in our org who is, and so I'm learning a lot about the math behind acoustics. But it's a lot less simple than, hey, again, we put a Genelec 8010C in front of the capsule in an anechoic chamber and we blasted it with a sweep and it sounded great. That's the reality of how these components affect the sound in that kind of non-linear 3D space is a lot more complicated.
But also, if you can't tell the difference with my voice, you can't tell the difference with a guitar. I'm sorry. I could do the exact same test, and I can tell you, you won't be able to hear the difference between an NT1 and a U87 AI with the guitar, because one is there's if I were to record an album with a U80 or with an NT1, nobody would be able to tell what microphone I recorded it with.
No. Nobody would care. I mean, that's more important. Yeah.
So the test is done. Like that's the end of the test, which does, like, saying shit like that is kind of ridiculous considering the channel I have. But I mean, Richard says, when I worked at an audio company, I had the chance to visit the anechoic chamber. What a trippy experience.
You can hear your fucking heartbeat echoing. Such a thing.
I want, like, I know Bandrew has like a quiet box that he uses to test. I got
schematics, dude. I got a file with schematics. We'll just build one. Honestly,
build one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not hard.
How much? What's the cost on it, you think?
Oh gosh.
Like a proper anechoic, you're talking 100 grand.
Well,
maybe?
Yeah. There's different classifications, right, of chamber, and so I don't know, something moderate. Like I would just comfortably, I'm gonna say no more than 50G, but I might not even go anywhere near that. Again, I haven't priced it out. I just know what it needs to be in order to not echo. Which is the whole point. Anechoic, no echo.
Yeah, I'll check with all
'Cause
my
you-
rich friends to see if
you
they want to
gotta-
give me 50,000.
You got to do like a wire floor. That's the big thing is you got to have a suspended floor and then you got to have
Yes.
shit under the floor.
Yeah.
And then you also got to really not drop anything in there. I got buddies that have dropped stuff and those holes are big and you know
My
if
phone
you-
is gone.
actually
Yeah.
that has actually happened right between the fucking folds of the
And then it
treatment
rings
material,
every
too.
time you're doing a test. That's
Oh,
the
man.
trick.
Well, and then the vibration rumbles into the material, and then you get this low, like, and you're like, what the
That would be awesome. So Nikora says, just join, don't sell. Don't worry, I'm not selling, I promise.
No,
and
that was just
the-
clickbait. Don't worry.
yeah. Oh, no, it's true story, but no, I'm not.
No,
gonna sell.
it is, but you put it there. as
No,
clickbait.
because the clickbait was someone wants to buy my channel, which is true, not clickbait.
No,
Um,
but then you attached it to the face, the question mark. There was an implied relationship there.
The implied relationship was who is my co-host. Come on.
How much of the audience do you think inferred the same thing from both of those pieces?
It's
of news?
not my fault. Your inference is your business. And how I make my thumbnails and my titles is my business.
I have to say, so one thing I'm going to say about the U87 in terms of quality is, and I can't really live. I guess I could sort of can. So I
You're
got
kind of drunk. Don't drop that.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the shock mount for it. This mic has been sitting in that shock mount without being moved for probably 8 months, which is not good for the shock mount, by the way.
No, that's not.
Do you know how many RE20 shock mounts I've had
Oh,
survive?
Oh, probably about like at least 10.
And
At
so again,
least.
I haven't done any research as far as why that this performs so much better. I know that this material is a little bit better. It's a little bit more elastic.
Yes.
It retains its character a little bit better. But I'm just saying, you know, you get something when you buy up.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I mean,
it's
maybe not as much as the money you have to fork out to get it, but you know.
By the way, before we leave, I'm going to address Jess's comment, but also I need to borrow your U87 as well as borrow back the Rode tube mic.
Yeah,
because you got that too. No hurry to it. I still got work. I picked up an Electro Voice.
that K2, man, that's good stuff. I like that K2.
Electro Voice RE50. So, like, I've picked up some bunch of stuff like random shit.
You got some bargain. Yeah, he's got some bargain action.
Well, I saw this every once in a while. I go to Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, hey, give me your mics. So I got this. Outsider Jess says, King Paco. Hey, buddy. I want to make my own mic one day. Actually, it has been part of my plans on this channel for some time that I do want to make a dynamic microphone.
Don't say condenser mic.
You can. You can.
Well, you can make all of these.
Well, I wouldn't make the capsule. What I would do is I would buy get a capsule, take it out of any microphone I have, and put a board together myself. Like that. That's something that's plausible.
Outsider Jess, I would say your best bet to build a mic and not have to invest in a ton of random ass tooling is a dynamic mic. Because all you need to do with the dynamic mic is get some kind of a diaphragm, like a flat piece of something that moves with the air, and attach it to something with a coil of wire wrapped around it. Make sure the wire is magnet wire. Make sure that it's insulated so that it doesn't.
Neodymium, if you can.
Well,
no, that's the magnet. Yeah,
that's
over
stator.
Neodymium magnet.
The actual moving the excursion part. There's a proper name for that. I should make that no. But the voice coil, like it's a very simple practice. Basically, think of a speaker. If you look up how a speaker is made and just do that backwards, and make a much smaller diaphragm that moves much more easily, and you've got yourself a dynamic mic. I have a friend actually that made a ribbon mic from scratch. And it was a hell of a time trying to cut those micron, those nanometer thick pieces.
Well, also creating the whatchamacallit in it, the corrugation.
Yeah, the corrugation. Well, even like, you know, again, I got ribbon monitors behind me, and the corrugation, and that is like, and they they sound really good. Those tweeters. Adam A7Vs for anybody curious.
Yeah, I've got to pick up a pair of those. Juan, you're responsible for what you write, not for what we read. Exactly. Yep. How are you guys? King Paco, great. K2 is a drug, and Outsider Jess, instant buy for me. It is still. I have a couple of big, my top tier plans for this channel. One, I'm trying to get into motion as of Monday. The second one was I've always wanted to release my own mic. In order to do that, I would have to work with a company. But I would love to be able to work with a company to like literally release a microphone with my name on it. Dark Corner Studios, not my name. It's Dark Corner Studios. The Dark Corner Studios mic, the DCS. I got to pair up with like a company, like a smaller company that would be willing. And I think I've got to be a little bigger for that to happen. But yes, that's something I actually want to do. And yeah, hell yeah. But it would have to be something that I could review and go, yes, I like this. This is my mic. And then it would be my mic for all time. Right, Dylan? Yeah. We could get the DL too, the Dylan Lalonde mic. What do you think?
You said DL and I had a heart attack for a second. Yes.
Well, yeah. It would be the would you be dynamic or condenser, Dylan? Whatever you did where your hands were, I don't want to know, man. Answer the question.
Hashtag conflicted. Jesus. Condenser probably. Dynamics I use, and I will not get out of here. I will use, but I will not. I'm pumping it with my shoulder. I'm like, it's a $4,000 mic, and I'm just can't. But probably condenser, because in terms of as a producer, what can I get use out of? Well, I say that I just recorded some fucking slamming beatboxing with an SM7B, and that bass response is exactly what I needed to be. So what? Makes sense. Dynamic. I'm going to be the rebel. Fuck it. Dynamic mic. That would be the mic I would design.
Yeah. All right, cool. I have to call it there. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. DCS sticker over the road label on an NT1.
It sells faster than a rat runs up a drain pipe. Yeah.
I'm still like I've got to get some of my logo stuff taken care of, but yeah, there are plans in the future. Maybe I will do that until somebody gives me their mic. I'm selling the DCS1. That's what we'll call it, the DCS1. All right, guys, that's it. This has been over an hour and a half, even though some of it included an echo. Cheers. It's good to be back. We'll be here next Friday. So we'll see you then. Cheers, guys. Have a great week.
See you next week.